So learning guitar as an adult presents some challenges that don't occur when you're a kid. Namely, the biggest difference is that as adults, we tend to have a lot more demands on our time, or more responsibilities. So if you're looking for some help on balancing guitar with school, work, or your other responsibilities, other hobbies, I invite you to join me, grab a cup of coffee, and let's chat about it. I should probably preface this by saying that a lot of these tips have to do with changing the way you think about guitar practice. So if you're gonna continue watching, I ask that you do so with an open mind. Okay, so my first tip actually has to do with gratitude and changing the way that you think about guitar practice, but this could also totally apply to basically any other area of your life. It's a really cool tip. If you're a bit of a workaholic like me, then there's a good chance that at some point during your guitar journey, practice is going to start to feel like a chore. And this is a big sign of two things that should be changed. Firstly, it might be a sign that you're not enjoying the way that you're practicing, so you might need to switch up your routine a little bit to keep it interesting. Maybe you're not a big fan of the music that you're learning. And secondly, it's a sign that you need to change your relationship with music. So for me, I noticed when I'm starting to turn this into a chore, I sort of start to write it out in my planner and I start to feel like, I can't do this because I have to practice guitar, or oh, I'm so tired, I just finished up at work and now I have to go practice guitar. But I challenge you to stop thinking I have to practice guitar and to start thinking I get to practice guitar, or I get to play music. Because as an adult with a lot of responsibilities, we don't get a ton of time to spend on ourselves and on the things that we love to do. If you've committed to trying to learn guitar, then try to start appreciating the time that you put into it as something that you're doing to yourself to grow as a person. I kind of almost think of it like self-care. I'm improving myself, I'm growing. I think that this time is for me, you know? And I use this all the time, by the way, for working out after work. Instead of, I gotta work out, I just got home from work, it's, I've been sitting all day, this is exciting, I get to move my body. Because being able to work on something that you're passionate about is actually such a gift. And I think a lot of us take it for granted. If you start to treat practice and playing guitar like a treat, you're gonna start to look forward to it. And you'll be more likely to stick to it. So when you're feeling burnt out, take a break. And when you're ready to come back to practicing again, I challenge you to start mixing it up, doing things that you love, learning music that you love to play, and just generally doing it in a way that is more fun for you. Tip number 2, stop comparing your progress to others. I'm pretty sure we've all been guilty of this. You open up your YouTube page and it recommends you a video of a 13-year-old kid playing like Eddie Van Halen, and it just completely sets you off and discourages you for the rest of the day. Or we start learning guitar around the same time as a friend of ours and they make more progress than we think that we have. Well, I want you to stop doing this because it is so harmful. At the end of the day, what you see online and what you see performed in person is only a little piece of the puzzle. They might have more time to dedicate to it. Maybe they had some prior experience that's helpful to them, or they're just more coordinated. Basically, they might have external factors that help them to pick it up more quickly than you. That does not invalidate your journey at all, or discount the progress that you are making. Everyone has to learn at their own pace, and it's okay if your pace is a little bit slower than others. That's totally fine, as long as you keep improving over time. Tip number 3, make some kind of routine and stick to it. I prefer to keep my routine pretty flexible. I'm not a 7 days a week at this time kind of person. And I think that everyone's preferences are going to be a little bit different with this one. Some people prefer to practice every single day for a little bit less time. Some people like to practice a couple days a week for a longer time. But I definitely wouldn't recommend the high extreme of either. Definitely don't practice once a week for 7 hours. For me, I tend to plan out my days the night before. So basically, I look at what I have going on for tomorrow and I evaluate how busy that day is going to be. And I will try to schedule in guitar practice on the days that I have some uninterrupted time. However, if my day looks super busy, I'm not even gonna plan for it and I'm not gonna feel guilty for not practicing. So for me personally, it usually works out to be between 4 and 5 days a week that I will practice. This is gonna be a little bit different for everyone, but you have to make sure that you're definitely practicing multiple days every week. And the more that you do it, just the more that you're gonna keep doing it. I don't know how else to say it, but it's like any other thing in life. It's like working out and exercising and eating healthy. It's hard to get into a routine, but once you're in that routine, it just starts to become part of your daily life, and it's not such a hassle to try and get yourself to do it. Something that helps me is putting it at the end of my day so that I finished everything else that I need to get done, and it's good because I don't have to worry or cut my practice short if I'm enjoying it. You know, if I have something else going on, I would, practice for a couple minutes and then be like, oh, well, I gotta go do some work. But that doesn't necessarily work for everybody. If you work nights or you work later in the day, or even if you work in the morning and you're super busy, you could just wake up 45 minutes earlier, get in a little bit of practice in the mornings. You have to just figure out what works for you, but try and have some kind of normal pattern to it so that it's easier for you to do and it becomes more like a routine. Also, this is a hack, I guess, that I use, but on days that I really don't feel like practicing, I try and force myself to practice for at least 10 to 20 to 30 minutes, whatever. I'll set a time like, oh, if I don't feel like it, okay, just go downstairs and play for, 20 minutes. And then if you really want to stop, you can stop. No guilt. And yeah, there are days that I go downstairs and I play for 20 minutes and then I don't want to play anymore. And you know what? That's fine. I say, that's it. I did it. I kept my promise to myself. I practiced for today. That's it. But I would say like 80% of the time, once I start playing, I keep playing and I enjoy it. So I would recommend that for a couple people. Ooh, this one is one that I have struggled with in the past. Tip number 4 is to set achievable and realistic goals. Basically anything in life can feel really overwhelming if you are just, if your goals are too vague. Like, the goal, I want to be a good guitarist. That's not a good goal. I mean, it's a good long-term goal, but that's not going to inspire you to work every single day. Some good examples of goals could be to learn to play a certain song, to be able to play a riff or a scale at a certain tempo or BPM, or to learn a new technique. So you see, it's like something that you can accomplish within the foreseeable future. Setting these little goals will give you a sense of like, I'm making progress, things that you can tick off your little guitar to learn list. And it's gonna inspire you to keep going because when you make smaller goals, you can see that you're making progress. In the grand scheme of things, if your goal is, I wanna be a good guitarist, well, that you might not get the fruits of your labor back for a long time, and that's not very inspiring, or at least to me it's not. And being able to see this regular progress is going to make you feel better about your playing and more confident and just happier in general. So it might even be a good idea to maybe get like one of those little goal notebooks or something, just like a really cute notebook. You can write out your goals and cross them off. I think that stuff like that really helps me. And you can make practice related goals too, like my goal is to play 5 times a week. That's a good goal because, you can achieve that very easily, So, yeah, smaller goals. That's tip number 4. And tip number 5 goes hand in hand with this. Take videos of yourself playing and look back at them so you can see your progress. I would recommend maybe taking a little video of yourself playing once a month. Maybe look back on the videos from, between 3 and 6 months ago, and you'll be able to see that you've actually made some progress when you feel like you're not really advancing. And I think that that's really helpful to keep you positive and, make you proud of yourself. Okay, and my last tip is only to be used when you are really struggling with motivation. But you gotta really be struggling to use this one, okay? External motivation can get you through some rough patches. Make a goal to play for a certain amount of days that week, or to accomplish some kind of goal and then reward yourself for showing up. This can be anything like buying yourself a little treat, like an inexpensive thing that you had wanted for a while, or treating yourself to a lazy day, maybe going out with some of your friends. Obviously, you don't want to be doing this all the time, but it can really pull you through if there's a time where you just feel like you have no motivation at all. And make sure you keep the promise for yourself and actually reward yourself when you accomplish that goal, or else it won't work the next time you try it. Anyways, that's all I have for today, so I hope that this was helpful to someone out there. I know I'm kind of, shouting to a wall because my channel's really small, but I do enjoy making these videos, so I hope that this was helpful. Make sure to leave your own motivational tips to save a musician down in the comments below. And if there's any type of content you'd like to request from me, make sure to leave it in the comments. I am so happy to make any requests right now, literally anything. So please let me know what you guys want to see. And thank you so much for watching. Bye. Oh, and be sure to subscribe if this was helpful to you at all. It really would help me know that I'm making a kind of content that people are interested in.